Away from sports news, a boat attempting to cross into mainland Europe from the coast of Libya has sunk, drowning nearly 200 migrants. The vessels with several people, including children on board, sank over the weekend near Karabouli, 35 miles east of the capital Tripoli. A Libyan Coast Guard spokesperson, Abdelatif Mohammed Ibrahim, said 16 people were rescued while they managed to recover 15 bodies. Most of the victims are believed to be Somalis and Eritreans. Around 3,500 migrants and 19 corpses have been discovered since Friday during a spate of attempted journeys by human traffickers taking advantage of calmer summer seas. Pro-Russian separatists are reported to have marched dozens of soldiers through the city of Donetsk. There were crowds lined along the streets earlier, chanting fascists as the so-called prisoners marched by. Some aggrieved people began to throw bottles at the captors. In the military parade were hundreds of servicemen and military hardware. The parade has been criticized as being inappropriate because Ukraine is still at war. More than 2,000 people have died in recent months in fighting between government forces and the separatists, while up to 330,000 others have fled their homes because of unrest east of the country. The Iraqi government says its military has defeated militants who launched an attack on the country's refinery. The militants attacked the Baiji refinery on Saturday, encountering government forces whom they battled until today. The refinery is an attractive target for IS militants as it produces about a third of Iraq's oil. IS has already taken over large parts of the country's northern Syria, including oil-producing areas. Up to 1.2 million people have been displaced as a result of their campaign, most of them minority Christians and Yazidis who fled to the mountains to save their lives. And much earlier today, a 6.0 magnitude earthquake struck North Carolina, leaving more than 10,000 homes without power in Napa County. It occurred at 3:20 a.m. local time, 4 miles northwest of American Canyon at a depth of 6.7 miles. The shaking set off car alarms and had residents of neighboring Sonoma County running out of their houses in the middle of the night. There were no immediate reports of injuries or serious damage. California lies on the San Andreas Fault, which forms a tectonic boundary between the Pacific Plate and the North American Plate.
About 3:10 a.m. and there's like flashes of light at downtown Vallejo in the historic, 1912 building. And there was flashes of light, and I've been through a lot of earthquakes for Lifetime California, and it was a serious rocker. I woke up and I was calling out for my wife, and flashes of light and a lot of rocker roller. And
I felt an incredible shake. At first, I thought there was a bomb that went off or something, and that's what they heard in Napa too. I just listened to the radio. It sounded it was epicenter was 10 miles down.
For Africa to achieve its full potential, African spouses, first spouses that is, must use their platform to influence policies, promote girl-child education and the well-being of women on the continent. That's a consensus reached at the Africa First Ladies Conference held recently at the Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C. Channel Television got an exclusive to this event. Our correspondent, Adeshawa Josh, reports.
On behalf of myself and my husband, it is truly a pleasure and an honor to welcome you all here to Washington.
The First Lady of the United States, Michelle Obama, welcoming Africa's First Ladies from close to 30 countries to the Spousal Summit held in Washington, D.C. Also present here is the former First Lady of the United States, Laura Bush, and her husband, former President of the United States, George W. Bush. Encouraging girl-child education and women empowerment in Africa are the burning issues at this summit. The discussants ask Africa's First Ladies to help create opportunities for young people.
Until we prioritize our girls and understand that they are as important and their education is as important as the education of our sons, then we will have lots of work to do. These young people, they believe that they get their inspiration from us. They're looking to us. They still don't quite know that they have the expertise and the skills already. They think we know more.
We actually do.
We do. We do.
Also up for discussion is the issue of women's health. Mr. Bush says first spouses should champion the efforts to improve women's health in Africa.
The first spouses have a chance to impact the future of your country in remarkable ways. You can champion national politics. You can help build political will. You can save women from cancer. You're uniquely positioned. And here's one of the problems we have. People die of stigma. There's too many people not being treated because of some false rumors. And the first ladies, while stigma may seem like a unbreachable wall, you got to realize it's really made of glass. And through your leadership, it can be broken.
He then announces the expansion of the Pink Ribbon, Red Ribbon program aimed at curbing cervical and breast cancer in Africa.
It's always been my approach to development, partnership, not paternalism. And so I'm pleased to announce today that Pink Ribbon, Red Ribbon is expanding to include 2 additional partner countries, Namibia and Ethiopia.
Moving Africa's socio-economic well-being forward can be fast-tracked if Africa's first spouses will make use of their platforms to influence policies. Adeshewa Josh, Channels Television News.
And the main news again. After almost 2 months of being at daggers drawn, the federal government, the leadership of the Nigerian Medical Association today called off its nationwide strike, ordering doctors to return to work on Monday. Also today, Abubakar Shekau, leader of the Boko Haram sect, came up with claims that he has created an Islamic caliphate in Gwoza, Borno State, northeast Nigeria. In a video obtained by the AFP, Shekau was quoted as declaring that Allah has given him victory in the town of Gwoza and made it part of an Islamic caliphate. We must state here, though, that these claims cannot be verified. But the Defense Headquarters almost immediately dismissed Shekau's claims, calling it empty. The military, in a tweet this evening, insists that the sovereignty and the territorial integrity of the Nigerian state is still intact. That's the news at 10 tonight. Thank you for watching. I am Amarachi Bunny.